Hello my peeps, and welcome to this week's video. Today I'm going to be testing out this Loft Watercolor pad that I got from Michael's the other day. But before we get into that, I'd like to give a shout out to these wonderful people. I couldn't choose just one comment of the week, so I chose all three. But anyways, thanks so much for your comment. I really like comments. I really like reading y'all's comments, and if you would like to be the comment of the week, all you have to do is comment on any video. I'm also on Patreon, and I have an Etsy shop. Links are in the description if you're interested. But anyways, like I mentioned, this is an Loft watercolor pad. I got it because of this texture that it has, and the paper is really thick. I've been eyeing this little, well, not this particular little pad, but just the Loft watercolor papers for a minute. And I went to Michael's the other day to get pens for school, but then I got distracted in the sketchbook aisle, because I also wanted like a mini sketchbook for my school bag. And while I was over there, I was looking at this, and I was like, maybe today should be the day. And I was gonna get a larger one, but then I saw this little one. It's a 4x6, and I tend to work smaller anyways, so I figured this would be a little better to get a smaller size, especially since I cut, like, I'll get a larger, well, this is what I normally do. I'll normally get like a larger watercolor pad or Bristol pad or something, and I'll cut the sheets down to 4x6, or sometimes like 5x7, but usually 4x6. So I thought it was nice that they sold one that was already 4x6. Like I mentioned, the paper is like really thick, and it has like a really nice texture. I cannot remember working with a paper with this kind of texture. I could be wrong though. And I realized when I got home that this is supposed to be their artist level pad, which probably explains like the thickness and stuff of the paper. Speaking of the thickness of the paper, it really helps with warping, which is like my least favorite thing about watercolor painting with watercolors, is when the paper warps. I know that there are things you can do to prevent that. I just don't want to do so. So it's nice that this paper is thick enough to handle the amount of water that I use for watercolor paintings without buckling too much. It buckled just like a little bit, but not too much, nothing too serious. And I thought that was really nice. The texture of the paper affected my line art a little bit, which is a little unfortunate. I don't know, sometimes I don't mind messy line art, but sometimes I really do, and today was one of those days when I really did mine. I used a Prismacolor Premier pencil for the line art, and the paper's quite bumpy, so my line art looks kind of bumpy, if that makes any sense. But I don't know, I guess it adds some charm to the painting, I suppose. Another thing I noticed about this paper is it was really easy to reactivate the paint with just like some water after I'd already laid it down and like dried it, which I don't think my other watercolor papers do that. I don't want to say this paper is not absorbent, but it's almost like the pigment sits on top of the paper, but it's also really absorbent. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I did notice that I was able to reactivate the paints a little easier than normal, which was nice, but also kind of concerning, because I do a lot of layers with my portraits, so I had to be careful not to like scrub or like overwork a certain spot too much, otherwise the layers underneath would come back up. But I just kind of worked around that and made sure not to overwork certain areas, which wasn't too difficult. I do think that lifting colors is really nice for like if you make a mistake or something, you can just take your brush, wet it a little bit, and just fix it, which is really nice. And that way, like, watercolors are quite forgiving, especially compared to other stuff like ink and like Copics or something. So that was actually quite nice once I learned to work with that feature of the paper. I can't really think of much else to say about it. I really like the thickness of it, and like I mentioned, the texture was a little, like, I love how the paper feels and I love how it looks, but I do not like how the Prismacolor pencil worked on the paper. But other than that's like my only con. Other than that, I really like this little pad. I didn't even mention the price. It was $5 for the 4x6, and I can't remember what the larger one, how much that one costs. So I do apologize. But it's at Michael's, and first of all, I think if you shop at Michael's at all, you should definitely like join their rewards program so that you can use coupons, because their stuff, a lot of it is overpriced. Speaking of which, when I saw that this was $5, I was like, is it really worth $5? But after using it, I would say I think it's worth $5. It is quite nice. I do tend to judge Artist Loft supplies a little harshly, especially after I tried the Artist Loft alcohol-based markers. I tried those years ago, like when I was first getting into making videos, 2017. It's been a minute since I tried them. Which I don't know, maybe they've changed, the Artist Loft markers. Maybe they've changed. My complaint with them is that the nib of the marker wore out really quickly, concerningly fast. So ever since then, I've been kind of I look at Artist Loft as a not so great brand since that happened. Except, I don't know, it depends on what it is, because I like their sketchbooks, and that's what one of the things that I got, the mini sketchbook that I got is an Artist Loft sketchbook, and my main sketchbook is an Artist Loft sketchbook. So I don't know, I guess maybe I should stop doubting their paper products, because I seem to like them. I don't know about their, if they have a student grade or student level watercolor paper, it might not be as nice as this one, which would make sense. So something to consider. I also really like the Artist Loft gel pens. So I don't know, maybe I should just try different Artist Loft stuff and stop holding those markers against them. It's been 5 years. I should let it go. But anyways, I had a lot of fun with this little painting. I was kind of unsure about the colors that I wanted to use, but I ended up going with this pink and this blue color, Ultramarine, I think it is. And what's it called? Quinacredone Opera is the pink that I use, and I use some POSCA, and I outlined with a pink POSCA pen too. So yeah, had a lot of fun with this little painting. Yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it wasn't too all over the place. Haven't done a review in a while, so anyways, this is what the drawing turned out, how it turned out. I like it. I had a lot of fun with it. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Shout out to my patrons, Turtlebun Buns, Ariana, and Sister Donna 55. Thanks so much for being my patrons. I really appreciate you and everything that you do. Wow, oh my goodness. My social media links are in the description, as well as my Etsy shop and Patreon. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please enjoy the rest of your day, my peeps.